into the ring, the bell's about to chime. Turnbuckle Talk, we're here to shine. Flagship of the airwaves, leading the pack. Breaking news, reviews, we've got your back. From the squared circle to the backstage news, we bring stories that you can't refuse. Turnbuckle Talk, the voice of the fight. Every slam, every suplex, every highlight. Tune in weekly, don't miss a beat. For the latest in wrestling, we bring the heat. From AEW to WWE, we cover it all from A to Z. Interviews, insights, and match reviews. If it's wrestling news, we've got the clues. From the squared circle to the backstage news, we bring the stories that you can't refuse. Turnbuckle Talk, the voice of the fight. Every slam, every suplex, every highlight. Tune in weekly, don't miss a beat. For the latest in wrestling, we bring the heat.
The WWE just dropped a music video with Liv Morgan, and this might be way bigger than you think. This isn't just a cool video. This could change how wrestling and music collide forever. Are we watching the future of the WWE or a risky experiment that could cause trouble? We will definitely be discussing this later on in the episode, and we will break it down as much as we can. My name is Carl Carafel. I am joined alongside Chris Best, OM Dynamic, and Mr. Chris Parrish for this episode of Turnbuckle Talk. First and foremost, guys, I have to say that we reached a goal and a milestone that we were reaching for. It has finally been achieved by WrestleMania. We have hit 200 subscribers. We're actually at 201 subscribers on our YouTube channel, Turnbuckle_Studios. I couldn't be more happier about this, guys. Thank you for the dedication that you guys have put into this. It is absolutely amazing. And thank you to each and every one of you who have subscribed to us. Guys, quickly, I want to get your thoughts on this. We'll start at the top and then go down to the bottom.
Yeah, no, obviously, Carl, you said it. All the thanks goes out to every single one of our audience who decides to take their time and to support us, watch us, have us enter your lives in such ways. We can't do this without you, so thank you so much.
Best.
Yeah, none of this would be possible without you guys. I mean, you're the driving force for why we do what we do, and we've got nothing but thanks to all 200 of you guys out there who have subscribed to us, all 201.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
OM Dynamic, yeah.
A huge thank you to our audience, whether you're listening in audio format, whether you're watching on video. We know with YouTube and 200 subscribers, that is absolutely huge. We love what we do here, and I want to give a shout out to Carl for giving myself the opportunity to start in this industry, to all of you guys for helping me grow, all of the help you give on my shows, and that I am able to help reciprocate with each and every one of you.
And this doesn't mean that this is the end. This is definitely not the end. We will continue. Our next goal is 250. We would love to see 250 before the end of WrestleMania. That would be absolutely fantastic. So if you like what you see here with us on Turnbuckle Studios, share it out with your friends. Let's get everybody together. Let's get a community of people gathered together in the name of professional wrestling, gaming, and entertainment media. We have got a big show lined up here. We got 4 of us, so we're going to try to get through everything as quickly as we can, but we're going to be as thorough as possible as well. Now, Mr. Best, I know that this is an article that you had brought forward and that you, I believe you said you wanted to talk about. You wanted to talk about a different kind of community in a different area of the world. Well, kind of close to us, kind of not close to us. It's kind of southern from where we are, but there's a live tour that's going to be happening in South America.
Yeah. Before we do that, I just want to give a hello to Jamichael Jugger for joining us on the show here. But WWE today announced what to me is a pretty huge deal, but they are returning to South America beginning in September with the superstars of Raw, of Monday Night Raw, going to, and you guys can correct me if I'm saying this wrong, but Quito, Ecuador on Monday, September 9th. Bogota, Colombia on Thursday, September 10th. I actually have a friend who lives there. And Buenos Aires, Argentina on Friday, September 11th, and Santiago, Chile on September 12th. Now that's obvious we're getting Raw, SmackDown, but that Saturday show tells me that that's probably going to be a PLE. I'm so excited about this because of the fact that I love when the WWE goes to venues that we've never really seen. And it's I just love that whole different environment. So this whole deal very much excites me.
Now, what excites me is that you mentioned that you have friends.
Yeah.
Ooh, we had no idea.
Surprising,
We're
isn't
happy
it?
for you.
But was it
No,
not
I think you hit those names just as they should be said. So yeah, I mean that's just really cool. Dynamic, what you got?
I was going to say, isn't South America and Brazil where Pat Patterson won a tournament to win the first ever Intercontinental Championship? A tournament
it
that
was.
never actually happened.
He won it in Rio de Janeiro. And it did happen, OMD. It did happen. I have friends who were there.
Pixar, it didn't happen.
But no, this is absolutely huge. This is, again, something new. We're used to the European tours.
Yeah.
We're used to Australia. We're used to Saudi Arabia. We're not used to South America. But I am intrigued. I'm not so sure about the idea of a PLE, but what about the idea of a Saturday night's main event?
I mean, that's kind of what I was thinking. I was thinking a Saturday night's main event or possibly a NXT PLE. I don't know. Either or, I think I would definitely be okay with. Parrish, how do you feel about them going, becoming the world in world wrestling entertainment and going to South America?
Well, I think it's very important that that this company goes all over the world as much as it possibly can, because again, like, you won't be able to let everybody know that you're a world and global company if you don't actually entertain in a live way the world. Yeah. And I think it's very easy that we can sit on a couch or in our house and just say, hey, why doesn't WWE come to my town more often? We forget how big the world actually is. And I think this is just really great for the people down in South America to get a chance to witness what I think sometimes take for granted by watching as much as we do, because it's not as easy for everyone to watch it like it is for us. So I think this is fantastic stuff, and good for WWE for knowing that North America just isn't the only place to go.
Would this be an ideal place to expand AAA's reach and maybe run a Worlds Collide event?
See, I never thought about that either. That could work.
It is possible, and I did look. It more than likely won't be a WWE PLE because the Sunday beforehand, Money in the Bank is on that day in New Orleans.
Okay.
So why not have the very first cash in South America?
Hey.
Yeah.
Right. So that means that original El Grande Americano is going to win Money in the Bank, and then he's going to cash it in on one of those nights. Yes, I can get behind that. Yeah.
Or we have a
This is
certain South American world champion right now who could very well do that too if she doesn't have the belt by then. Stephanie
yeah, that's
back
true.
here.
Yep. This is the
Especially
first time in 7 years that they're going to Colombia, Argentina, and Chile. So, yeah, huge for them.
yeah.
Yeah,
We
I can't
get
wait to
it
see what it looks
close,
like on our TV.
right? Right? I mean, we get it close enough to us for sure. We do. That we could travel a little bit to go and see it, but they don't, and I'm very, very happy for them. That's yeah, it's just great for them. I didn't even put up the graphic for that. My apologies. That is my bad. Sorry. I was just so into just this topic that I completely slipped my mind. But something that can't slip my mind is another topic that we have for somebody who I think definitely is very deserving of this accolade, and that is my friend Jessie Cressa, or as everyone else may know her, ODB. Which one of you wanted to talk about this?
That was me.
That was me again.
Yes, it was.
I think this was something that we all wanted to address.
Yeah.
But ODB this past Saturday at TNA's Rebellion pay-per-view, after her 6-woman tag team match, which her team lost, was presented with an honor by Tommy Dreamer and TNA president Carlos Silva when they told her that they wanted her to come back in October at Bound for Glory and told her that she would need to dress up a little bit more because they wanted to induct her into the TNA Hall of Fame this year.
And she was in a matchup during that pay-per-view. She was in the hardcore country match alongside Mickey James and Taryn Terrell, going up against the Elegance brand. I haven't been able to watch that just yet, but I hear that it was actually a really good matchup to watch for it being a 6-person matchup, which typically I kind of shy away from a little bit, but I mean, come on. It's got Taryn Terrell. It's got Mickey James and ODB. How can you not want to watch that? Mr. Parrish, how do you feel about ODB and her going into the TNA Hall of Fame?
I mean, anytime you see somebody who has put in the work with the company and has helped them grow or even travel through the hard times and experience great times, seeing them recognized. And I think what TNA always does very well is they always recognize the women throughout the years who have helped them achieve the heights that they have. And they still do so with still a lot of emphasis, whether it's the Knockouts champion, the Knockout tag team division. If it wasn't for TNA, I don't think women's wrestling would have seen the evolution that we really see today. So ODB is one of those OGs of the Knockouts division, and she was a larger than life character, one that I think a lot of people wanted to see go to WWE and never did. And I think because of that, a lot of TNA faithful just absolutely love her for it. And you can take this as you will, but I don't know if there's a woman that really emphasizes TNA better than ODB.
Mr. Best, what can you add?
Yeah, we always talk about the pillars of TNA. We always talk about AJ Styles, Eric Young, Frankie Kazarian. But when it comes to the women, ODB, I always looked at her as the backbone of the Knockouts division. Sure, we had Gail Kim, we had Awesome Kong, we had Mickey James. They were all pillars of TNA as well. But ODB was just loyal through and through because the three that I've mentioned, we've seen them come and go from TNA. And sure, they deserve their Hall of Fame inductions as well that they've gotten. But ODB, it's about time, is all I have to say.
Yeah.
This
Yeah.
is something, though, that we are starting to see a lot more of, and that is these Hall of Fame announcements a lot earlier and well before the typical ceremony. Is this something that you guys like going forward, or do you prefer getting it all closer to the event?
I
kind of
prefer it a little
I
further out. I do.
Mhm. I like it a little further out too because there's a lot of fans right now who probably tuned into TNA who have no idea who ODB is. So in watching Rebellion last night, they got an idea, or on Saturday, they got an idea on who she was. Now they can go online through Google and find some of her best moments, her best matches, and just get a feel for who this woman is, so that by the time that Hall of Fame induction rolls around, you're going to care about that induction.
Yeah, and I know we live in a world of streaming, and so much generations have passed. Like where we can talk about what happened 30 years ago feels like longer than 30 years ago, but there's still room for the marquee, whether it's an event like a stream or even a live Hall of Fame ceremony. So the fact that there is that recognition and that understanding that this is who we're gonna achieve, it's very nice when, especially for that individual and their families who get to see the fruit of the labor.
Yeah, for sure. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
I've met ODB. I've known ODB. I absolutely love her. She is an amazing person. If you ever get a chance to go and see her at her food truck, do it. I've heard nothing but really good things about the food that is there, about the atmosphere that is there, and just the way that she treats everybody like they are the most special person in the entire world is just a accommodation to her and who she is. And that's her IRL. Okay. Simply put, that is her IRL. We have many different things that we do here with Turnbuckle Studios, as you heard in the very beginning, whether that is professional wrestling content, whether that is gaming content, whether that's mental health content that we're rolling into, whether that's entertainment content that we have done as well in the past. We have a little bit of everything for everyone. Here's how you can find what we've got going on.
Turnbuckle Studios and the Turnbuckle Affiliation Program bring you the week of streams. All times are in Eastern Time. Monday nights you get the Locker Room Breakdown at 7 p.m., followed by the Raw Patrol at 8 p.m. Tuesday brings you the flagship show, Turnbuckle Talk, at 8:05 p.m. Wednesday we play games with the PlayStation Showcase at 8 p.m. Thursday we go TNA as we brace for Impact at 9 p.m. On Fridays, join us for the SmackDown Security Detail at 8 p.m. The weekend brings you Saturday Night Gaming at 8 p.m. On Sunday, be sure to catch the Chris Parrish podcast at 12:15 p.m. And later that night, we have the Borsnest at 8 p.m. Be part of the shows and join the chat every day. And please visit turnbucklestudios.org.
And turnbucklestudios.org is the home for Turnbuckle Studios and everything that we have going on. Now, we do want to give a programming note. As things evolve, things need to change. So for one OM dynamic, there will be a change to the Locker Room Breakdown that will be coming out soon. There will be no Locker Room Breakdown anymore. But we're going to go a little nostalgic for myself and for a former host of this show as well, for Big Joe, where OM Dynamic is going to take over Wrestling Recap. And we want to say, Kyle, we love you. Thank you. That's what's going on with us so far. So that programming note there for you, that is going to be coming very soon. So the commercial is going to change. That show is going to change. But what isn't changing is how we do things here on Turnbuckle Studios. Another big change, I will say, that we have had in recent weeks is that we have created a Discord channel. There is in the chats there for you on each platform we're streaming to, where you can go to join us on Discord. So we highly encourage you to do that. We are honestly still trying to figure everything out with Discord. I mean, I am a 45-year-old man that is not always tech savvy, so I'm still figuring things out. But please go find it. It is discord.gg/4QRSMZBE. Now, please take a look in the chat because there are some capitalizations and some lowercase that are in there, and that will take you directly to our Discord channel. We have a few more topics here for us tonight as well, and one of them is I want to talk about it, but I'm kind of like, do we really have to talk about this? Like, come on now. Professional wrestling was, and always will be an entertainment industry. Just as if you were to sit down and watch a movie, professional wrestling is much the same. What we're talking about right now is there were reports of a stabbing that happened at a professional wrestling event. Now, while that may have been an attempt, we do have clarification now from the police department that it didn't happen. Who's got a little more info on that?
That would be myself again. Yes, we reported a couple of weeks ago that there was an attempt made on Mads Kruger at an event in Chicago for Ruthless Pro Wrestling by a fan.
Yeah.
Promoters had reached out. Krul had come out the next day saying he was fine, still recovering. But yes, he has not been stabbed. The police have confirmed this. And the venue has said we are no longer going to host wrestling.
Well, okay. It's not that the venue said they were not going to. The venue is actually quite upset that they lost their license to host professional wrestling. So in the US, it's quite different. In the United States of America, you have to have licenses to run these different types of events, as well as a lot of the professional wrestlers down there need an actual license to wrestle. And that may, it was a thing many years ago, but I'm still hearing that it is a thing today in some areas where you actually need that license. So the venue, the Berwyn Eagles Club in Chicago, Illinois, lost their license to be able to host those events.
Yeah, and they have very good reason to be upset at this, because this, in the independent wrestling scene in America, this venue has a lot of historical value to it. Yeah, so I don't blame them for being upset at this situation. I do hope at some point that maybe they can reclaim that license, but I don't see it happening anytime soon.
Parrish.
Yeah, this was something that I kind of I didn't want to really chuckle or whatever about when I read the whole thing. I just thought it was really much of a head shake when I read this whole thing, because again, I think the venue, they're the ones that lost more than anything else. They lost the ability to run any sort of business when it comes to professional wrestling. But then you dig further, you dig more of the human aspect. What does this do for the perceptions? a wrestler claims he was stabbed. He was not. Looks pretty foolish, if you ask me. But then you have the fan who was accused of being the person who stabbed, didn't. How much did they have to go through in this process? Because wrestling fans, as we know, can be very crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Don't ask me. Just ask Drew McIntyre, who put out another PSA for everyone in a sarcastic thing.
Yeah.
But to me, it's one of those things where I don't know if there's something more about this. Like, was this supposed to be an angle that because it was an independent show, it didn't really hit like Seth Rollins, like Ruse of the Century kind of thing? I don't know. But at the same time, I just look at this is why I think maybe wrestling and wrestling fans need to just respect the space a little bit more. And at the end of the day, have a little bit more common sense when you're doing things as well.
Well, I can clarify something on you for that, Parrish, because we did talk about this last week when it originally happened. But prior to the event, there was an encounter between the fan and Mads Kruger when they were doing, the meet and greets that they usually do before the show. The fan got into Mads Kruger's face. Mads Kruger himself was doing his character, as you should be when you're at your merch stand. And the fan took exception to what Kruger had said to him.
Oh, yeah, I read everything. My aspect of where I'm coming from is just if that was a legit altercation, that fan should have been removed from the show from the very beginning. Because if there's even a remote possibility to a threat to a performer, then the company or the venue security needs to be in place to remove that threat as soon as humanly possible. And because that wasn't done, this is a situation that happens. It looks foolish as a whole, and the venue from its end kind of gets more of the hit slap on, like, not, I don't want to say slap on the wrist, but they take more of a brutish punishment than anybody else.
Yeah. So there was an investigation that was done. It was led by Detective William Masuki. He was assigned to it after authorities were notified. Now, somebody who identified themselves as a manager for Ruthless Pro Wrestling, their name was redacted out of things, but they had claimed that the fan was causing issues earlier in the night, was intoxicated, and was already warned by staff to settle down or face removal. Now, the police report states the fan agreed to calm down, but approached Cruel after the show and started causing more issues. The manager states that the fan ended up attacking his wrestler and tackled him to the ground. The fan continued to punch the wrestler several times. Then the rest of the wrestlers/employees came in to help and got the fan off of him and escorted the fan out of the business. The manager states that redacted was not stabbed in reference to Cruel, who isn't listed by his real name or alias in any or in the redacted version of the report that was released. So that comes right from, the police report itself. So there was no stabbing. There is video that is out there. I mean, you can take a look for it and see if there was, you can give your own take on that. Was there not? Who threw the first punch? Like, all of that is still up there. But according to the police and the police report, they state that there was no stabbing that happened.
Yes, in the report that I have here in front of me, after claims surfaced that a stabbing had been attempted during a confrontation between Cruel and a fan, a lot of the wrestlers did back that, but several disputed it as well, stating that there was no knife involved. Video footage apparently shows Cruel throwing the first punches before multiple wrestlers swarmed the fan, but no visible weapon was present.
Right.
Could this have been one of those old school switchblade hair combs that we used to.
I don't know. Either way, we're happy that the fan got to enjoy some professional wrestling, and we're happy that Cruel is doing good as well.
And no one
At the
got
end of the
hurt.
day, that's what matters.
Yeah.
And we're happy the police did their job.
But this is still a cautionary tale that if you're a fan at a wrestling event, just be there to be the fan. Don't go in and antagonize the wrestler. Simple as that. I mean, Carl, if you remember correctly, I think it was about a year ago at a CWE event, we had to eject a fan because they were threatening violence on everyone.
Yeah.
There's a reason why MJF has stated in an interview once, he's like, maybe we should just go back to where we're allowed to hit fans. There's a reason why, even if he sarcastically said that, there's a reason why.
Oh yeah.
I know, obviously less of a drastic scenario now in this case, but I mean, if you look back at, the Knox Pro Wrestling situation with Rampage Jackson's son last year.
Mm-hmm.
And just how brutal that has turned out.
That stuff is always going to be there. So we say, if you are a fan of professional wrestling and you are going to a show, just be there to be a fan. And even better, if you are mad at a professional wrestler, go and buy a piece of their merchandise, rip it to shreds in front of them, do something like that, as long as you are not doing that with our merchandise.
The Turnbuckle Studios store is open for you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Get the merch and represent the best from the shows you watch on a weekly basis. Multiple styles to choose from with over 10 products available. Don't get left out and pick up all your favorites today. Find us at turnbucklestudios.org.
That's right, turnbucklestudios.org. You can go right there. We do have a section where you can just click and go to the shop. It is powered at this time by Redbubble. It is 100% secure online payments for that. We encourage you, go. I've got multiple pieces. I've got the Turnbuckle Talk shirt. I've got the Parrish has the hood, the zip up hoodie there on as well. I got the Turnbuckle Studios shirt. I've got the Jesus is my tag team partner shirt. There is just a lot of different things that are out there. I know, fellow TAP member Bubba Duke, he has gotten merchandise as well. There's lots of it that is out there. We want you to be part of it as well and show your support for us in that way. There's not a lot of support for some other people, though, on the independent wrestling scene, as it appears as though there is more blockage that is happening where wrestlers are being pulled from indie matches with AEW talent right now. And that's, for me, a little bit concerning. Mr. Parrish, I want to start with you on this. How do you feel about TNA pulling wrestlers from working with AEW talent at indie events?
I mean, you have to look at it from multiple angles on this. One, it's the fact that is there that who TNA is partnering with in WWE? Is it because WWE doesn't want AEW talent to go over on people that are working with them? Maybe. Is it one of those things where TNA maybe has other obligations for its professional wrestlers? Maybe. There could always be a side of the business story that we don't know yet because maybe that's behind closed doors. So it's almost wrong to assume that we know what's going on in that end. But then you look at if you're someone that bought a ticket because you wanted to see Nick Nemeth versus MJF, and now that match isn't happening, you've already spent money on something like this. You booked the time off work. You've invested multiple of your limited resources for a show that you're no longer allowed to do. So they get cheated out of an one in a lifetime opportunity. And then you got to look at the performers themselves who maybe look at this as something of whether or not they like the person that they work with because they do this to them at the last second. We always have to take into account cards subject to change, but at some point, can we do a better job of changing said card? That's going to be the subject at hand in my eyes.
Mr. Best.
Yeah, I'm looking at this too, and I kind of look at it as maybe it's an almost conflict of interest kind of thing, because we know of TNA's partnership with AEW. We know TNA also had a partnership with AEW at one time, and that was kind of went out like a wet fart, basically. I do think that with what Parrish had said there, I do think that this could be just some kind of a scheduling conflict. Maybe they wanted to put Nick Nemeth. They have Nick Nemeth maybe scheduled for something else on the May 1st event. It is hard to say, but I do look at this as more of a conflict of interest kind of thing. And I did bring this up to Carl before the show, but we know that EC3 has signed a TNA contract, and that he's currently on tour with the CWE. And Carl, thankfully, you reassured me that he is still going to be on our tour because TNA does honor those dates.
To my understanding, again,
yes,
card subject to change.
Yeah, that's the key thing there.
Yeah, now this was a decision, from what I understand, made strictly by TNA president Carlos Silva. I don't know if WWE's partnership with TNA had anything to do with it, though it could well have. We know that Nick Nemeth and MJF have gone back and forth with each other on social media. Both of them wanted this match.
Mm-hmm.
I understand, and I can understand the controversy, because if you have Nick Nemeth go in, win the AEW championship at an independent show to a guy that's not under contract and is under contract with another company, there is a massive conflict of interest. Is AEW then just vacating the title? We also know that Leon Slater was slated to face Ricochet. And that would have been an amazing match for the High Flyers, for that audience.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't think the AEW World Title was supposed to be on the line in this feud. But
I don't believe so either. But this isn't the first time that this has happened.
No,
even just recently, like I'm reading more reports here, and this one here came from April 9th of this year, 2026, and it says that they, AEW recently preempted their Saturday Night Collision show to Thursday, April the 2nd, going head to head with Impact, which, to reports, to understandings, actually, kind of angered Silva a little bit, which I can understand, right? Like, you're already talking, oh, we're doing this Saturday night, but now you're going to be moving it to a Thursday, and when we're on, like, where's the little bit of camaraderie here in this?
Yeah.
Weekly shows of professional wrestling haven't aired in the same time slot since like Wednesday nights, I would say. AEW's Dynamite and NXT, right?
Yep.
I mean, NXT had then moved to Tuesdays, so since then there really hasn't been anything else, and I can't remember very much before that either, except maybe the Monday Night Wars.
Right. Now, there was talks when TNA was looking for their television deal and their partnership with WWE. The WWE wanted them to move to Wednesdays to go head to head with Dynamite, which I thought was absolutely stupid.
Right.
I liked having this break because you're going to get something from everybody every night of the week.
Mm-hmm.
And actually, to update you, Carl, there was also another time when TNA did go head to head with the WWE on Monday nights back in 2010 as well, and that just bunks off what OMD had just said, and that was a terrible move on TNA's part at that time too. But yeah, I'm seeing here that the reason why Silva made this call is it says partner conflicts here.
Mhm.
And you have to wonder too if Carlos Silva was just a middleman in here, and if that was the case, if this was above his head on making this decision, but he is putting his face out there for all backlash, I kind of have to give a little bit of credit and a little bit of respect to Carlos Silva for taking this on his shoulders and going with it, even though it might be somebody else's responsibility or accountability for the decision. At the end of the day, somebody always has to play the villain. He was willing to do so. And I can confirm that that wasn't a scheduled AEW title match. It was just Nick Nemeth takes on AEW champion MJF. But I mean, it sucks, but this is the wrestling business. 40 years ago, we were looking at the Monday Night War saying, oh my God, this is absolutely fantastic business. Now it's tribalism because, everyone has the opinion. Business doesn't always change. Sometimes the old tricks still happen.
How long ago was the Monday Night Wars?
I don't know, I said 40, but it's just a long time ago. I even said earlier, sometimes 30 years seems like a long time ago. So
right.
My wording stays true.
I was like, damn, dude, I'm only 45. I was a teen when the Monday Night Wars were going on.
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't remember WrestleMania 3 happening because of the Monday Night Wars.
Oh, wow. I mean,
hey,
I'm getting
not
old.
on top of you guys when you say something correct, so back
Oh,
off.
You should be. You should be.
Yeah, good.
Damn it, Bobby.
This is why we need help, huh? This is why we need
Yeah,
help.
right? I mean, 1,000%.
Yep.
This is why we need help. And if you believe that you can do something to help us, whether that's, sending us money for, a couple drinks, or sending us money for, something else, or, merchandise, or maybe you're good in graphic design. Maybe you're good with the microphone. Maybe you're good with video production. There may be something that you can help us with. This is how.
A Turnbuckle affiliation program is looking for more people. If you have passion level for pro wrestling, sports, video games, or something else, then Turnbuckle Studios is the place to be. If you have ever wanted to pursue content creation and want to join our team, then we would love to have you. Check out turnbucklestudios.org or contact us by email today, because your future is now, and we want you to tap in.
And if you go to our Facebook page, I do believe it has been posted there. The Turnbuckle Affiliation Program, or as we call it, TAP, has helped out other people as well. We have included now another member of our team in Mr. Logan. And we're so happy that he has decided to come aboard and be part of this here with us as well. He will be taking care of headspace and headlocks, which is going to dive a little bit into the mental health side of things for us. And it's definitely something that is needed for people. And if we can incorporate that into our repertoire through the help of Logan, we are definitely all for it. There is always somebody out there. So thank you for being part of the Turnbuckle Affiliation Program. And we want you to be part of it as well, in whatever capacity you feel you may be able to help out. We're coming to our last topic here of the night. Pardon me. And this one here is something that I had just shared onto my personal Facebook page my public, it's open to anybody, my Facebook page. Um, a music video that happened back in the 80s that included, like Hulk Hogan, Jimmy Hart, and, a whole bunch of other different superstars back in that time. And I mean, it was pretty cool. I enjoyed watching it again. I always enjoyed watching those. And it was WWE produced back then.
Mhm.
Well, it appears as though the WWE may have decided to branch out into the world of music once again. We are on our road to WrestleMania, and we have a women's matchup that is going to be coming up between Stephanie Becker and Liv Morgan. To go along with this, Liv Morgan and the WWE, or the WWE, shared the video of Liv Morgan's music video entitled Trouble. Okay, I am a Liv Morgan fan, so I enjoyed it because it's Liv Morgan. It's not my style of music. It's not what I would listen to on a daily basis, but the WWE has seemingly almost branched out into this again. Now, our biggest question right now is this just something that the WWE is doing to garner some buzz around WrestleMania? Or is this something that the WWE is going to kind of branch out into again and try to make good from this? I'm going to start at the very bottom for this one here. OM Dynamic, I want your opinion on this for me, please.
I think that this is just to garner some buzz.
Okay.
I think this is to really elevate Liv Morgan and what she is all about.
Right.
We've seen them do this before with Zack Ryder.
Right.
When he put out his music video, you referenced the Stand Back video.
It was not Stand Back.
Oh.
It was a different one.
Okay. Obviously, we know that multiple wrestlers have made cameos over the years in multiple music videos.
Right.
Namely Hulk Hogan with Rick Derringer.
Captain Lou.
Warrior. Yep. Ultimate Warrior with Phil Collins.
Yep.
Booker T with Bad Bunny.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I think that is all this is. And I asked this last night on the Raw Patrol, and I'm wondering if this could potentially become Liv's new theme song and Titantron video.
Oh. That's definitely a possibility. Mr. Best, bounce off of that. What do you feel if or how would you feel if that was her new theme music and Titantron?
It doesn't carry theme song vibes to me, but I'm certain Liv Morgan, with her brilliance, she could figure out a way to do that. But I kind of had another theory pop into my head. What if this is the start? Because you mentioned, I believe the video you were referencing was actually Land of 1,000 Dances with the WWE.
Nope.
No. Oh, okay.
If you only knew.
Oh, okay. So that's a different one. I forgot about that one because you mentioned a bunch of wrestlers that were also in the Land of 1,000 Dances video as well.
Yes. Yes.
I'm wondering because I'm going to say Land of 1,000 Dances because that was on the Wrestling Album 1 that had wrestlers singing songs just for the sake of singing songs. Some of them became theme music. Same with Pile Driver, the follow-up album. But then in 2004, we also got WWE Originals, which did the same thing. I'm wondering if that's where we're going with this song. And I wonder if there's going to be other wrestlers that do their own original theme songs. And I can see one Hall of Famer that's going to be in a 6-man ladder match who has put out music already to do that as well. I can see Rey Mysterio doing this again. Or is this going to be just like what WWE did with Elias when Elias recorded all his own music and they put it out as an album on Spotify? I wonder if they're going to do that with Liv, or is Liv doing this on her own and has WWE's backing with this?
That was a thought that I had as well. Parrish?
Yeah, I mean, we live in a different age when it comes to watching professional wrestling. Like the athletes that we see on our screens aren't just a one-trick pony anymore. We know that a lot of the wrestlers we see and have backgrounds, whether on the women's side, it could be WNBA with Lash Legend, or collegiate wrestling for guys like Chad Gable, Olympic alternate kind of there, and Olympic gold medalist in Hall of Famer Kurt Angle. We know a lot of them have played in the NFL. And some of them do have musical background. I mean, look at Lillian Garcia for an example. A lot of superstars, and Tiffany Stratton has made this public, she wants to use wrestling as a gateway to eventually go into Hollywood. And some of these talents also want to go into other venues like music. And I think Liv Morgan is at that point in her career where we can all say she is white hot right now when it comes to name value and her impact in the women's wrestling scene, to the fact that she is now in that level of conversation when we talk about Charlotte Flair's and Rhea Ripley's. So the fact that she's using this to get more notoriety in the more of a mainstream audience, this is just going to allow Liv Morgan to be more of a household name. She's tried it before, as she's tried in acting, as she was she did a scene with Chucky, I believe.
Yes.
Before.
She was in the TV series. Yeah.
She is just making herself a bigger star, and we all know what Hollywood did for Dwayne Johnson, what Hollywood has done for Hulk Hogan, John Cena, Dave Bautista. When they come back, we've seen what the UFC has done for Brock Lesnar. It makes them a bigger attraction, and WWE is the home of the biggest and most global athletes. We talked earlier about going to South America. Maybe Liv Morgan's single becomes South America's #1 song, and then by that time, Liv Morgan is maybe she's the baby face instead of Victor. No longer is. We don't know. Right. This stuff has a weird way of working.
Yep.
And I mean, that definitely just kind of really ties into like creative direction behind things that are going on, right? And for me, I would be very interested to find out what the creative direction behind the music video is. You know, who directed the music video, different things like that. But we're seeing a little bit more of like Jelly Roll right now within the WWE too, right? So it's the musical influence is there right now, and what better time to be able to do that than to put it out when you already have a major music star on your programming. And then, you know, this could, you know, kind of become a little bit of like maybe a ripple effect that, you know, allows a real major shift in how wrestlers are going to build their brand and themselves for life after the WWE. It's really interesting to me.
Well, and I mean, let's not forget, you get these guys and girls going into different things like the liquor business. But look at R-Truth, who put out several rap albums before he got into issues with the law, before he got into wrestling. Now he's doing country rap.
Right.
We've heard that Mercedes Moné is supposed to be putting out an album this year.
Yeah. So related to Snoop Dogg.
So you've got all of that influence. And all of these guys and girls want something to fall back on. We also know that Liv Morgan has a movie being released later this year. So it is the notoriety. And let's not forget the Paradigm Talent Agency, who a lot of these talents sign with to represent them.
Right. Right. It'll be very interesting. If you have not checked it out yet, you can check out the music video. It is available out on it's on Daily Motion. It's on YouTube. I believe that it is on the WWE's X account as well. They have shared it out. So it is available out there. I'm looking at it right now. The WWE did post it as well, saying Liv Morgan's Trouble music video just dropped days before she challenges Women's World Champion Stephanie Becker at WrestleMania. I love it. I absolutely love that the WWE is doing this and allowing these things to happen. I think it's just great. We are nearing the end of our programming here, but I do want to make sure that everybody knows of our website. It is turnbucklestudios.org. That is the place to go for all things Turnbuckle Studios. I do work with the website. I am the one that has built the website. If you don't like it, too bad. Go and check it out anyways. I do my best with it. So I hope you appreciate it as much as I do. So things may not always be updated on it as quickly as we possibly could, but I can guarantee you that each and every show underneath that show tab is up to date for you. And we want to make sure that you're going and checking that out. We've made everything super simple over there, from the shows to the shop to the hosts even. Click on a picture of the host and it'll take you to all of their socials and where they can be found on the interwebs. And as well, there is a spot that if you are looking to become a part of Turnbuckle Studios and tap the Turnbuckle affiliation program, you can click on join, and it will take you to the area to fill out the little bit of documentation to send over to us. Mr. Parrish, OM Dynamic, Mr. Best, thank you guys so much for being here for this episode. I enjoyed this. This was absolutely great. You guys continue to shine, which is amazing. And we have hit over 200 subscribers on YouTube before WrestleMania, and we could not be more happy about that. So thank you to each and every one of you that has subscribed. Please share us out, tell your friends, make sure that everybody knows about Turnbuckle Studios. For Mr. Parrish, for myself, Carl Carafel, for OM Dynamic, and for Chris Best, thank you. And remember, everyone, the world's a scary place. Take care of each other.
Flagship show setting the tone. In the world of wrestling, we stand alone. With news and reviews, we lead the way. Turnbuckle talk every day. Turnbuckle talk every day.